Chapter 2, Firestorm, 1933. These are my treasures. I want you boys to share them, said Mr. Mandelbaum somberly. Now that you're 13, you are old enough. Jap and Brahmi had been playing chess in the kitchen when the old man entered with 2 towering stacks of books and set them down on the table. They contain ideas, he continued. They will make you think. That's why they're so afraid of them. They don't want you to think for yourselves. But don't give in to them, boys, no matter who else does. Never give in to them. There were books on art, music, astronomy, and politics. Einstein, Mark Twain, and Shakespeare were among the names on the worn leather spines. The old man nodded to Jap's mother and left. Who was he talking about, Mom? Jap said. Who are they? The Nazis, said his mother. Mr. Mandelbaum is upset about what they did in Berlin last night. She turned away quickly, hoping the peeling potatoes would make her own fear. That peeling potatoes would mask her own fear. The boys stared at her until she continued. The Nazis burned books last night. It was on the radio. They made bonfires out of books written by foreigners and liberals and Jewish people. Jap glanced at Brahmi. His head was down. How they could have my math books, said Jap, trying to shift the mood. It didn't work. I'd better get to my studies, said Brahm, putting on his jacket. Don't you want to divvy up the books, said Jap. Some other time. See you in school. Bye, Mrs. Penrot. Will they burn books here, Mom? Jap asked after Brahm left. I can't imagine it, she said quietly. But people are strange, Jappy. The worst can be brought out in any of us, under certain circumstances, as well as the best. Be sure you thank Mr. Mandelbaum for the books tomorrow. Books held a special place in the hearts of the people of Holland. For over 400 years, the Dutch had been making books in Amsterdam, and Jap's father, Gerrit Penrot, was part of that tradition. He was a master of a print shop, overseeing the work of 15 pressmen and printing the finest quality books himself on a special press. Jap, we're going to the meeting tonight, he announced when he came home. There's a man from Germany who's speaking about... Gerrit? Jap's too young for that, said Jap's mother. He knows how hard I work to make a book, snapped his father. I think he needs to know why someone would burn one. And I want to know too. After dinner, the Penrots hurried to the printer's meeting hall. A young couple of 2 small children sat down next to Jap. Ah, a fellow artist, I see, said the man, noticing the doodles Jap had been drawing on his program. Well, I'm really better at drawing houses, said Jap. I want to be an architect. Excellent, but the best architects are truly artists first. My wife Miriam is a painter. I write and work a bit of clay when I'm not teaching school. Maybe you'd like to come to our studio sometime and see our work. My name is Eli Cardozo. This is Nathan, and the little one is Sam. The speaker from Germany was a Jewish writer whose work had come under attack. He said the Nazis claimed that any work that did not glorify the German race was anti-German and must be burned. They labeled anyone that they didn't like as enemies of the state. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and sent to work camps. The speaker was grateful to be welcomed in Holland, but said they should expect more refugees, for he feared the worst was yet to come. He was right. A trickle of immigrants from Germany became a flood as conditions worsened in their country. Many refugees escaped with little more than the clothes they wore. The Nazis carted away housefuls of Jewish property and claimed the empty houses for themselves. For the next 5 years, the madness swept through Germany until it exploded into a rampage of terror on the night of November 9th, 1983. Goaded by the Nazis, the Germans burned down thousands of Jewish homes, businesses, and synagogues. There was so much broken glass on the streets afterward that the night came to be known as the Kristnacht, the night of the broken crystal. Jap and his friends did their best to settle the refugees crowding into Amsterdam. But the problem was overwhelming. We need to help them move on. It's the only way, said Eli at the cafe. They'll be safer in England or the States. Easier said than done, said Jean-Paul, Jap's friend from Paris. Nobody has the welcome mat out for Jewish refugees anymore. Holland should just give them Dutch passports, said Miriam. Forget it. This government is too scared of offending Hitler, said Karel Blazer, a photographer. Speaking of Hitler, who's coming? Said Crean, Carol's assistant. A large crowd of young men in black shirts and boots came surging through the streets, cheering as if they had won a football game. They were members of the NSB, the Dutch Nazi Party. Most customers at the cafe moved inside when they saw them coming. Over here, Jop called out to the young man distributing Nazi pamphlets. I'll take some and pass them out inside. Jop's friend looked at him in shock. Good man, said the youth. Say, don't I know you? Penrot, isn't it? Hello, Herman, said Jop. Haven't seen you since school days, back when you used to protect that little Jew boy. What's his name? Brongbird? Bromstein? Yeah, well, nice seeing you, said Jop. Let me go distribute. Come to that rally tonight, said Herman, to celebrate the Führer's next victory, Poland. Soon all of... Hey, what are you doing? Jop tossed the pamphlets into a garbage can. His friends broke into cheers and applause. Penrot, muttered Herman. I should have known you had not changed. You think you're so smart, but we're the ones fighting for our white Aryan race. Someday you'll thank us. You'll come to appreciate that pamphlet. Oh, I feel better already because of it. In fact, made my day, said Jop. Well, that day's over, said Herman, and a new one is on the horizon. A new Europe, a new order. You'd better join us. Otherwise, be careful. Amsterdam is a small town. All right, that is the end of chapter 2.